All right. Let me check if my volume's good. Yep. Okay, sweet. So, I saw some fun stuff today. Had some really good conversations, actually. Speaking with the matriarchs in my tribe always makes me feel so much better. Prepares me for the next stint. But funny story, I saw some comments earlier on my last stream. And I dropped into Radmom for a minute between clients, and I totally saw, well, I heard some good stuff. So I didn't get a chance to finish what she was saying, but I'm going to play some stuff because I think this is super interesting. And I did get an email from her too that I responded. Actually, let me share that first. She finally got around to my email. And yeah. So, Sarah, I'm sorry. I hadn't gotten to this yet. Things have been extra crazy here. That's why I've been throwing everything I have at the YouTube game. Thanks for the tips. I would enjoy having a conversation if you're still up for it. Sarah, absolutely. Super exciting. So I did write her back this morning. And then, hello, Freebird. Good to see you. I like that thumbnail. Today's thumbnail's extra perfect. But I was listening. I dropped, I'm not sure exactly at what point of the stream I dropped into. I'm just going to play a little from the beginning because this is fun. It's always interesting to see people's reactions, especially feminists. Because there's so many people that just have no clue what I do. In catching people's initial reactions to my titles is funny. They automatically just assume things based on a title. I'm going to play this. Freebird, you'll enjoy this. Here, actually, I have it in the description, but I'm going to share this. You might really enjoy this chat. I think she pretty much streams maybe Monday through Friday at 9 or noon. So, hello, Rusty. Good to see you. But yeah, let me play some of this because it's so funny. I wish I could see the chat, though. Maybe I should have held off on this, but she reads the chat, so we can talk about that. What the fuck? Does she really? Is she hide it? No. No way. Why is it unavailable? She did. Don't tell me she's gonna start being cowardice. That's fucking dumb. And these crazy bitch feminists wonder why people don't take them seriously. Like, come on. Well, I will go over what I recall hearing. Starting with, yeah, maybe. That's fine. I tagged her ahead of time, and I shared the link to her stream because that's kind of what I do. I share stuff that's interesting. I help get more eyeballs on people's channels. But the first thing I'm going to point out that I enjoyed hearing from her stream, it was really actually sweet. Her husband was in there, and he was thanking her for breakfast or something. And she was drinking a coffee that he got her. So I thought that was adorable. Yeah, cowards hide. Well, she said she would be up for a chat, so I'm actually looking forward to that. But Kitty Cat was in there too. Let me share this because Kitty Cat left me a comment. Let's see. Yeah. Kitty Cat. Hey, I was mentioned. Well, I'll be happy to hear you out. And I did reply because I'm like, actually, I was looking for feminist take on why feminism. Because that's ultimately like what my goal here is, to understand the why of the things. The why. Why feminism? Rad Mom, when did you get indoctrinated into that ideology? I hear you talked about ideologies. I know you can see them elsewhere. But hold up. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm not fucking reading all that. Kitty Cat, come on. I know you're watching this too. I'm not interested in reading words that every other fucking feminist uses. Not interested in that. Not interested in emotional fucking diarrhea all over the fucking chat section. I'm interested in conversations with adults. So there's a reason I listen to audiobooks and don't read a bunch of stuff on papers. There's a reason that I listen to actual authentic conversations. If I wanted the regurgitated dogma of every other fucking feminist, I wouldn't take the time of day to actually try to engage with any individual one of you. So that's really sad though. Because you know what? I think we have a lot in common, me and this rad mom. I mean, she's a year younger than me, and her sons are way younger than mine is. But let's see. I'm trying to remember what she talked about earlier today. Oh, she thinks I'm a Bible thumper based on the titles of my streams and the fact that I pulled out my illustrated Bible dictionary to look some shit up. I thought that was funny. Would you guys say I'm a Bible thumper? Just curious. JR, you know me pretty well. Would you say I'm a Bible thumper? Something else I heard her bring up a couple times was the fact that I let men speak on my channel. Oh, that was kind of weird. But at the same time, I guess I would understand. I mean, she did mention like men talking on my channel for like over an hour, and I fucked off. And they were talking about shit she didn't care about. Like, yeah, something about my channel and my various channels. It is a platform for men to have free speech. So it's pretty much not available to them online. There's many, many, many men in my tribe. They constantly get their channels canceled by crazy bitch feminists. No, I'm not a Bible thumper. I actually don't identify with any single religious orthodoxy, so I do like to have conversations with people, though. And I do like to understand where they're coming from. So I learned the language of all the group identities so I can communicate with people. Something else I think I have to clear up. Just so you're aware, Rad Mom, you are not on my crazy bitch list. Now, I do have a list of some seriously abusive, crazy bitches. Here, I'll show you on one of my channels. Let's see. This one here, the GM channel. This is where I have a list of crazy bitches I've come across the internet that I have seen in real time engage in misandry. They're troublemakers and they're crazy, lying feminists. So a lot of these people are mothers too. But you have to be a certain kind of caliber of crazy bitch to make it to my crazy bitch list. So this is just a PSA really for other people to pay attention to. So just to be clear, you hadn't quite made my crazy bitch list yet. I mean, I haven't seen you actively engaging in misandry. I mean, right, Nello? I'm a Bible thumper, you're a PUA. Yeah, it's just strange. I was thinking about that earlier when I was talking to one of my friends who's almost 70, actually. She's a woman that I really look up to in my tribe. Yeah, come on, Rad Mom. We don't bite much. See, and I thought Rad Mom wasn't going to be a fucking coward. But she's just proving a point. That all feminists are cowards. And they're afraid to have conversations. What else did I remember from her talking? Oh, she talked about trans stuff. So she was a tomboy, perhaps, or she thought she was a boy. She claims to think like a man, right? Even though I don't know about that, but she claims to be to have thought she was a boy for a while. What did she say, 15 years of her life? She did say that just because just because like, she doesn't give any credence to how do I explain this? She doesn't seem to buy into the fact that men can be women and women can be men, which I totally agree. I mean, another thing that I guess I am would be kind of into science and genetics and breeding goldfish. And I'm very stuck on genotype and phenotype. So I don't do this whole sex gender thing. My brain works in genotype and phenotype only because probably I breed fancy goldfish. There's like 200 different variations of the same genetic fish, but they all look different. So that's kind of how I feel about the trans thing. Just because somebody is trying to claim to be a trans woman, they're still a man. And I will address them as such. And really, I don't care who you are. So that's kind of where I stand on that. But she claims to think like a man. And I've also heard her claim to be able to speak on the minds of men, even though she clearly doesn't listen to them. I kind of got that from when she was reading comments on her misinjuries and feminism. Yeah. She doesn't seem to understand men or men from the various different tribes that we have online. No, she doesn't hate kids. Actually, that's something I brought up in when I popped by her stream to invite her for a discussion. All the feminists that I run across seem to hate kids. And she was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you were once a kid before, which I totally agree with. She called it misanthropy. She called it something. But yeah, I don't get it. Most of the feminists I come across hate children. So see, I didn't take her as masculine at all. I mean, she seems to be very curious. And she says a lot of shit that I agree on. She does, however, say she talks about internalized misogyny, which I was looking forward to asking her about because I don't really believe misogyny really exists. I don't really believe that's a real thing, especially when it comes to men. Because what? Misogyny, the definition, is the hatred of women. So I've never met a man, well, besides I've come across a couple men that really didn't like actual women, but they were pretty interested in young women, like in the pedo category. But I don't think men being misogynistic is a real thing. I think it's just another feminist dogma thing, a fear-mongering tactic that the feminists use. Also, a dodging accountability thing. So I don't think it's a real thing. Oh, Johnny Midnight. Okay, so misanthropy, hatred of humans. Yeah, to me that's stupid. Hatred of humans. Well, what else did I hear her say earlier? Man, now I wish I would have listened to the whole thing. I heard her read some of the chats. I don't know. I just don't think any feminist can come to any conversation in good faith at all. I don't think they're capable of it. Hello, BB Scott. Which channel are you on? It's funny when people ask about my channels. I'm like, which one? I have quite a few. I mean, I have literally the exact same thing on all my channels. I know I should probably like separate all the things that I do and all the things that I talk about, but fundamentally it's crazy bitches and feminism and how the psychology field has fucked up humanity. So here's your kitty chair. Yeah. Yeah, multiple channels. I don't know. I was looking for that chat, forward to the chat with Rad Mom. Because she seems to be convinced that mothers of sons need feminism the most or something. That sounds like child abuse to me. I mean, I haven't met a feminist so far that literally isn't a crazy bitch. White chocolate ice cream. Her name is Oshawott. She is named after a Pokemon because Cameron got her when he was 7 years old and he was into Pokemon. So, have you guys seen what Oshawott looks like? The Pokemon? Yeah. Here, I'll show you. Oh, you must be talking about a crazy bitch cocktail. NPD, HPD, BPD, APD. You know, it's funny. I grew up hearing various different mental health diagnoses my mother was trying to get just so she can siphon off taxpayer money from the government. And I hit the library looking up that shit because she told me that, let's see, it's when she got her bipolar diagnosis, that it was hereditary. And that means I would turn out to be just like her. I was like, that's some horse shit. There's no way that's true. So at, I don't know, 12, 13, I started hitting the library and looking up anything I could on mental illness. You know what I found? By the way, here's Oshawott. This is where the cat got her name. To a 7-year-old. I guess they look alike. Hello, Billy. Why do mothers with sons need feminism the most? I don't know. That's what I wanted to ask her. What about fathers with daughters? Oh, it's a good question. Yeah, they all can be misdiagnosed. Because you know what? A lot of these crazy bitches want some kind of diagnosis. They can, or they do. My mother specifically, she tried for a long time to get a physical disability check from the government. And she learned that mental disabilities actually pay more. So they also get them a get out of jail free card when they're being charged for the fucking crimes they commit. So, especially in Washington State, that's deep blue. Over 50% of the population is on some kind of government assistance or another. And it's a fucking shithole. Crime's really high. Drug use is really high. Alcoholism is really high. Depression is really high. I think because there's not enough sunshine on the left side of the mountains. I mean, you guys see what goes on in like Seattle and Portland and all that shit. It's pretty gross. I don't know. Baby Scott, last time I saw you, weren't we talking about INFJ stuff? What you were saying was really interesting. Another group identity bubble I've been in, the MBTI. Well, what is antisocial behavior, though? Like, okay, so Cluster B milkshake, for instance, she's diagnosed with antisocial behavior. But a lot of things that she explained to me were her inability to tolerate bullshit and stupidity. So, what is antisocial personality disorder exactly? Maybe I have that. Because I really don't like to socialize with crazy bitches. I'm pretty deathly allergic to lying cowards. And by deathly allergic, I think it just means they should fear being around me. So I'm just curious how much of that part of the psychology field is not geared towards forcing inclusion for the mentally ill. Robbing, stealing, cheating, breaking normal laws and social rules. Okay. How did you guess? Yes, that would be my Myers-Briggs personality type. But robbing, stealing, cheating, breaking normal laws and social rules. So lying, cheating, stealing, I get that. I don't think either of those three things are appropriate behavior to display towards other people. But social rules. And what is a normal law exactly? Because we have a lot of fucking laws that are bullshit today because women can vote. And social rules, when you have the most mentally ill, fucking easily offended idiots dictating what people are allowed to do and say in society, I think that's where we get in trouble. That was actually something else I was going to point out on Rad Mom's thing before she hit it like a coward. She kept saying, oh, I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to say what I really want. Like, why the fuck not? Like, if you have something to say, why not say it? You have the First Amendment for a reason. And women in our society have all the freedom to pretty much do whatever in the fuck they want, no matter how much it harms the rest of society. So, I mean, Rad Mom, you can't hurt my feelings. It's impossible for you to hurt my feelings. So don't hold back. If you have an observation that isn't built on a bullshit ideology or a piece of puppeted dogma that you want to throw at me, go for it. You want to talk about my internalized misogyny, which I think is a load of horseshit. It's just another one of those spell words that, oh, she did say she agreed with me about spell words. The way she was framing it was kind of weird, actually. Here, I know you're going to watch this if you're not watching it now. Rad Mom. I'll give you something else here. Can't believe you hit that. That's so disappointing. Yeah. Gone. But here. If you would like to fully understand the spell word reference, you can go here and watch this. Because this is really good and it might give you a better understanding if you don't want to, in fact, talk with me. I'll at least allow you into some of the things I reference. So. All right. Johnny, antisocial PD is when you are usually the attacker just to cause disruption and chaos. In a nutshell. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Are you talking about a crazy bitch, though? Just splitting the crazy bitch hair. I mean, to me, there's two kinds of people. There's people that like to fucking just cooperate with people, and then there's ones that like to combat people. I've tried to maintain my channels and my space in the spirit of cooperation. And I know Rad Mom had a problem with men talking to each other respectfully on my channel, on my platform. Maybe she doesn't understand what one of the various things I do is, but that's one of the things. Facilitate adult conversations. So, you know, the problems you were talking about that are men's problems? Yeah. Some of that shit gets sorted out over here. Hello, Outlaw. Good to see you. Oh, Rad Mom, that's a MGTOW. I know you think you know anything about all these various men's groups that have accumulated online. There's a lot of men that are trying to really do their damnedest to pick up the slack where the fucking psychology field has dropped. So there's a lot of group identities that men naturally, just like people naturally, pretty much, isn't it a biological imperative that, you know, tribalism is a thing? People need people. Well, a lot of men, much like you claimed yourself was, isolated, thinking you felt a certain way and you are the only one. There's a lot of men in our society that feel the exact same way. So they find themselves online, and whatever group they come across that seems to speak mostly to them and to their lived experience, they tend to stick around. So the MGTOW space is pretty much the very bottom that tries to catch a lot of these men before they fucking start a shotgun. So the MGTOW community online is where a lot of men have found other people that share in their lived experience and save their life from committing suicide. So before you continue thinking you know anything about anybody online, you should probably spend some time fucking listening to people. Because guess what? That's also what I am. I'm a fucking really good listener. And I've spent many hours listening to you, your various forms of content. You're not fucking special. You are just somebody I was interested in having a conversation with. And I was trying to figure out why it is that I identify with so much of what you're saying. But then there's this, random feminism bullshit that keeps popping up that still makes zero sense to me. And it's the same feminism bullshit that all the feminists fucking spout off. So, one of these days, hopefully, I will come across a feminist that isn't a fucking coward and we'll have a conversation. These bulldog and dykes want to end all institutions, but they never create anything in its wake except pussy hats. Yes, words, spelling, spell, speak, and spell. Speak and spell. Right? Let's see. God spoke the universe into existence. His son called the word. Words are the beginning of creative energy. Yeah. Yeah, I've been proselytizing my religious beliefs lately. Oh, going back to one of my clients I had earlier. She's 70. She is, she's a mother. She's a grandmother. She's also a physical therapist. Oh, by the way, she said she saw some pronoun shit at a local doctor's office. It was on the intake form. Like, what's your pronouns? At her doctor's office. As much as these cray people have their cray woo ideas, there is some truth in some of it. I know. See, and that's what I want to get to, the good stuff. Like past all that dogma, because I can seriously listen to so many hours of somebody's content and still have way more questions than when I started. Because like a lot of times they'll be saying something really good, and then the demons will start coming out of them, like the fucking ideology demons. I am Aggie Psych, an anthro degree that works in construction. I lead men in abuse recovery courses as my side gig. Oh, that's good. Huh. Aggie, huh? Where did you come from, BB Scott? By the way, hello, Hemi. They don't recruit, men just arrive. And what sends them MGTOW is universal. Absolutely. You know what's funny? The crazy bitches on Rad Mom's stream today were complaining about men saying disparaging things about women. And how did she put it? Something along the lines of, or maybe it was one of her chat people. I'm trying to remember. Something along the lines of, oh, I kind of feel sorry for her because she doesn't realize that they're talking about her. And something about, I don't fucking know. Yeah, it was just funny. Like, they not only take everything men say about abusive, destructive, super misandrous, crazy bitches personally, because they're women, they also want to place the sins of other crazy bitches on the non-sinners. Oh, that was strange. That's how you know they're fucking in a cult. So, groupthink. BB Scott, I'm from Texas. Dallas Fort Worth, of course. Found you via MRA and MGTOW channels. Oh, well, welcome. Yeah, it'd be interesting to talk to you, actually. If you're ever down for a conversation. I am curious what psych and anthro degree. Did you go to A&M? Are you an Aggie? Did you know that the diversity, inclusion, equity stuff is gone? You know, I've met one Texas A&M graduate on the internet, and yes, he does identify Black as a cult, and he doesn't like all the, you're not Black if you do X, Y, Z. But he was an engineering major and got his degree from A&M. I mean, he's in a SYSBM pickup artist cult, but he at least got out of the Black cult. Came to MRA via NPD abuse channels. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's only disparaging if there is truth within it. Yeah. That's what I don't understand. Brad Mom seemed to have a problem with men speaking on this channel. So, are you sure you're not a misandrist, Rad Mom? I did catch the part. Maybe you didn't finish listening to my stream, but I caught the part where you did try to emotionally manipulate your husband. You know the sign language, guys, that women like to use? Because I did mention how feminism is abusive towards men. And she said something, because I guess her husband was in the chat, something along the lines of like, oh, well, if you're that kind of man, like, women want woman-only spaces, but woe betide if men gather and exclude the bitches, right? I mean, women are more than welcome on my channel. There's just rules. No toxically feminine, abusive behavior and misandry towards men. That's it. Don't be a fucking child. Don't try to dominate men in this space. It's not a place of competition. is a place of cooperation. I ask the same thing of the men. Like, it's the most disgusting thing for me personally to see a man engage in toxically feminine behavior. So the men getting at each other in a passive aggressive way or any kind of combat, I don't want on my fucking channel, period. If men would like to participate in a discussion, have conversations, speak whatever truth that they feel is relevant to today's time, they're free to do that. So, well, I think, actually, Hemi, I had a question. I was thinking about what we were talking about the other night. How you said you lived with a narcissistically personality disordered chick 12 years, did you say? $16 years. That's crazy. So curious, was she a feminist? Because I have a theory, and me and Billy will go round and round about this. He thinks narcissism created feminism. But I believe feminism created narcissism. And I'm pretty sure I can argue that. See, and this is the perfect place to discuss your mommy issues. I have one funny story. My crazy bitch mother that I have not spoken to, let's say the last time we communicated was in July. So it was around it was her birthday. Okay. Well, let me set the stage for this. It was her birthday, July 2018. She sends me a text because she had just realized that my Nana no longer lived up in Washington State, that I had gone up there and moved her down here so I could take care of her at the end of her life. No, she was here for a year before she died. So she said probably 2,700 times how much she wished she would have just done it sooner, but she was afraid. And it wasn't until she got hospitalized multiple times and was in the intensive care unit because she had COPD and was on oxygen and would forget it. She lived alone. And my family didn't really do what I thought they should have been doing to help her. And I would organize things from Texas to get her help in Washington State. So my mom would only stop by to steal from her and use her for shit or try to move in and just whatever. My mom's a fucking parasite. So last time I talked to that crazy bitch was when she called the police on me. She had the cops sent to my house. She called them and told them that I murdered my Nana. She was reporting a murder because she texted me because she noticed on her birthday when she stopped by my Nana's house that she was no longer there. She was pissed because the garage with a bunch of her garbage was empty. So she sent me a list, an itemized list, and a monetary dollar amount next to it that she wanted me to pay her for. So I sent her the bill from the dump because it took about, I don't know, the majority of a day to load up my friend's horse trailer full of her fucking cat piss and cat shit covered garbage that she had been storing in my Nana's garage. So it went to the dump. But she was pissed because I wasn't going to send her any fucking money. So she called the police on me and told the cop that I murdered my Nana. And I got a visit from the police in July of 2018. So, cop showed up at my house while I had company over. And he was like, are you Amanda? I was like, yes, sir. He's like, we received a call from, I think, your mom. I was like, oh God, what does that crazy bitch want? He's like, okay, she claims you murdered your Nana. I was like, yeah, that's not true. She passed a couple months ago. She was on hospice. They took care of her. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, because nothing was reported and it kind of sounded weird. Like, you mind if I get the number for that nurse in hospice? It's like, no, here you go. He's like, oh, cool, thank you. And he went to walk away, and then he kind of turned around and he's like, I'm really sorry. I was like, no worries, dude. Like, there's a reason I literally moved 2,300 miles away from that crazy bitch. She's nothing but a fucking parasite. So, last thing I texted her after that was, you're fucking sick. And that was the last time I talked to her. Until she sends me a voicemail. Now, mind you, I heard nothing from this crazy bitch growing up other than, I fucking hate you. You ruined my life. I wish I would have had an abortion. Blah, 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 blah. Psychotic cunt, my mom is. She calls me. Johnny, check this out.
Hey, Amanda. This is your mother. Wow, your accent has really changed. That's crazy. I don't know that you're at Sucks anymore, but we were just at Leanna's reception on Saturday, and Candace and Bob were saying that you have a YouTube channel, but that it's not under your name. So I was wondering if you could text me that, because I'd like to check it out. And I hear it's interesting. So, yeah, I think of you often, and I love you no matter what. And I hope you are well and that you are happy, honey. Bye.
So, I mean, I won't be acknowledging that because she just fucking wants something. Hello, Emmanuel. Right about the passive aggression being toxic feminine behavior. I guess that's what we call fights. We call fights straighteners. Do you? I don't know. She wants something from me. You know, I cut that crazy bitch off after I had my son. It took me, let's see, we lived in Germany. I put up some boundaries. Oh, she had my youngest brother with her. She was living in New York with some guy she met on the internet. She wanted to, rehash things out, and she was so sorry about the piece of shit she's always been, and she was really gonna try and all this shit. She wanted to come visit us in Germany. I wanted to see my youngest brother. So that's really the only reason I agreed to having her visit. So sure as shit, when I get to the airport to pick her up, my youngest brother wasn't there. She left his ass in New York or New Jersey, wherever she was. And he literally had to take a bus all the way to Washington. Back home. And it was hell getting fucking rid of her. Once she stepped her fucking foot in my house. So She wanted me to take her to the hospital. She needed to go get some Demerol shots or whatever drug she was seeking. But my mother has always wanted people to take care of her. She's never done anything to help anybody else. So, yeah, I love you, honey. Hmm. Yeah. I'm just helping. I mean, I know a lot of people can't understand what men go through. How can they? I mean, as a woman in our society, like, we have all the freedoms. My life is completely different than the average man's lived experience. I get that. I did grow up watching a crazy bitch mother, though, destroy every man she came across. Every single one. I saw how abusive that cunt was. Physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually, to her own children, in an attempt to alienate them from their fucking fathers. So, putting in all that feminist fear-mongering shit to make a child afraid of their dad is really fucked up. So, I do know what it's like to have to restrain your own self while somebody is yelling and spitting and slapping in your face. And you just want to fucking hit them, but you can't because they've instilled the fear into you as a young child that if you hurt back for any reason, you'll go to jail. So I know what that is like. I've seen a lot of men go through that. And I have an extreme bias. It could be how I've chose to live my life, but I just have never put myself in a situation where I've ever been abused by a man. Like, I'm pretty repulsed by alcoholics, so I tend to stay away from those. I know that alcoholism is responsible for at least 50% of violent shit, violent homicides, like the perpetrators and the victims are more often than not drunk. So I know feminists talk about, oh my God, I almost got raped or I got sexually assaulted when I was at this party being drunk. Like, I never put myself in any of those situations. So I have an extreme bias. I personally don't know what it's like to be abused by a man, especially emotionally and psychologically. Like, I feel like that's a woman's superpower. And any woman that's like, oh, this man manipulated me is just kind of a liar, I think. I've seen a lot of women claim that. But it's only because they lost at a game that they were trying to play initially. So, I don't know. Yeah, John texted me. It was funny. He texted me happy 4th. And then he texted me a link to his new channel and it was like, any help out with that would be great, sir. I was like, is he forgetting he's texting? It's funny. A feminist state, men cannot be abused. They can only be abusers. I just have never seen that personally. Again, with my extreme bias. I don't know. I talked to all the women in my life about it too. They haven't seen it either. They've heard about it. They haven't seen it. So, yeah, BB Scott. How do I? Yeah, Billy covered. Billy speaks from that second beast, the realm of the second beast. Max was so abusive. She was kicked out of a woman's abuse shelter for being abusive. It's funny. Well, at least, it's funny. I only have one experience with a woman's shelter. So back when I had my salon and I had a few employees that I was responsible for, my very first associate that I trained, she wanted to do a volunteer thing, give back to the community, She was one of these social justice warriors. Thinking back, like she was all about the feminism. All about the feminism. But she invited the women's shelter to my salon, and me and 3 other stylists did for free all the moms and all the kids' hair. And out of 6 mothers and tons of children, one of the mothers that was actually there was, I would consider, maybe abused. The other 5 crazy bitches were liars. They were literally texting these men they were so afraid of to like drop them off McDonald's. Like, and these guys were doing it. Strangely. Like, they were using these men and they were lying. 5 out of 6 of these women. So that's the only experience I have with crazy bitches from domestic violence shelters. Yeah, Billy, let's plug your channel. Hold on, let me give. Oops. Oops. Here it is. All right, baby. I know I give you a wrench on the main channel, but you guys are more than welcome to always plug your channels and share links. But I also gave Rad Mom a wrench. I think I gave Kitty Cat a wrench if she ever wants to come here and educate me about misogyny. Because you know what? That is some crazy shit. I don't know. Should I read it? Let me read it. Let's see. Go back here. Live. I usually don't like to read this verbal diarrhea. Oh wait, hold up. What? I didn't even know this was here. Ooh. She replied to me? Well, that's okay. Hey, I was mentioned, well, I'd be happy to hear you out. It's like, actually, I was looking for a feminist take on why feminism. Well, that's easy because women deserve autonomy as human beings and to not be exploited based on their reproductive sex. That's all. Exploited based on their reproductive sex. I mean, first and foremost, autonomy. Sounds like some strong, independent woman shit. There's literally nothing but a lie. That's what I don't understand about feminists. They literally talk about how strong and independent they all are, but yet they need fucking help to do everything in life like anybody else. Nobody in this life is independent. Nobody can ever achieve anything on their own. Period. The end. We are tribal by nature. We have communities for a reason. So, autonomy. What even is that? Exactly. As human beings. Oops. And not be exploited based upon their reproductive sex. Exploited. What is exploited exactly? Let's break this down. Exploited based on their sex. Because I don't get this. I don't get half the shit they fucking say. Past tense, exploited, make full use and derive benefit from a resource. What in the fuck? So are you saying your womb is a resource? Is that how you guys operate? I don't know. Let's read this other shit though. This reminds me of that Bastard Factory Alice's fucking memoir passages. Okay. You know, Random may just be having a busy week. Oh, Rad Mom. She has stated this throughout the week, so I don't really understand it. So what exactly are you interested in chatting and or collaborating? Yes. Oh, why? Because I don't fucking get feminism. Why feminism? Why are all the women that I come across that puppet feminist dogma, why do they all seem super fucking crazy? Why are they fighting their biological urges so bad? Why are they trying to pretend to be people they're not? Why do they all believe that they're better than men? Like, that's something I heard on Rad Mom thing on one of her streams, claiming that men are stupid and something like things would be better if more women made decisions for other people. Like, clearly that isn't going so well for us as a society right now. We have the most fucking retarded women making decisions for other people. We have a bunch of misplaced mommy energy all over the place. We have women in our government that are literally trying to treat adults like children. I saw that during the fucking initial lockdown with people in my industry. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew that the majority of women in my field are fucking nuts. That's why I couldn't bother and stand working with them for very long. But I wasn't aware of the smother mother medical tyranny that was going on during the lockdown. You know, the Texas Department of Licensing on Facebook, I watched after the 2 weeks to slow the spread. I literally watched the women on their fucking power trips, like, oh yeah, everybody, if you see anybody cutting anybody's hair, report them to us. We'll put them on blast and we'll remove their license. Super fucking power trip. I was like, what kind of commie bullshit is this? Yeah. Government's huge because all these women with degrees needed fucking jobs to pay their student loan debt. That's why our government's so fucking big. And I'm pretty sure being against the government is literally in my DNA. So I'm not a fan of fucking government at all. So I don't want to read all this bullshit. That's as far as I'm getting, kitty cat. You are welcome to join at any time for a conversation. Anytime. If you would like to, let's say 10 years ago, I mean, you don't make content. Oh, maybe you do. No, these are playlists. This is other people's work. Okay. So you're a keyboard warrior. Is that it? Or do you actually have conversations with people like an adult? Just curious. My guess is no, you probably don't. You hide behind your keyboard and talk a bunch of shit about men. That's what you do. Autonomy means self-determination or self-governance. It sounds reasonable until you realize that they only want it in order to get away with hedonism. The responsibility side of autonomy is icky. Manual. Yeah. The hedonists. Oh, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, what would you say I am? This rad mom, I think, because of my recent titles and me talking about the two beasts and the beast from the sea, the Leviathan being a feminist cult, because that's how I read the Bible anyway. I had to put up my own interpretation on these written words. So the beast from the sea, the seven-headed beast, is definitely the feminist cult. And the beast from the land, to me, is definitely the psychology field. So, yes, feminism is antichrist. It is completely contradictory to God's law. And you know what? Whether people want to believe it or not doesn't really matter. Because guess what? All these crazy bitch feminists believe it. They actually praise Lilith, especially the crazy ones in like all the love and light communities. Lilith is pretty much the only one that they talk about that they have respect for or admiration for, because they see Lilith as Adam's first wife that God made in, I guess, the same way he made Adam, out of like clay. So she is a feminist idol. They think that that's why, feminism is so important, because here you have these two people that God made in his image. So Lilith, that's why she's equal to Adam, because she was made the same way, and that's why she wouldn't submit to her husband. And then she left the Garden of Eden and then gave birth to a bunch of demons. Like, the feminists idolize her. So I don't have to believe it. Just like I don't have to believe in fucking tarot cards or astrology or any of the superstitious shit that a lot of people believe in. I just have to kind of understand it, so I understand where these people are coming from. Hello, Chris Mitchell. Long time no see. I hope you are well. Yes, they are. They are. Yeah, I saw Richard Grannon's video from today. That was funny. Super funny. But there's this one chick that keeps fucking spurging that she doesn't get the notifications, and oh my god, it's killing her that she misses it live. Like, really? I don't get that. You know, it wasn't until the lockdown that I even realized that YouTube videos had chats on them. And it wasn't anywhere except the goldfish community that I'm a part of. Goldfish, fish keeping, hobby stuff. I didn't know people took part in conversations on live streams. Because you know what? I always just listen to people talk while I do other shit. So, and you know what? I feel like that kept me pretty healthy. Like, I understand in a situation like this where streaming, I actually want your input because I'm having some dialogue, collecting my thoughts, organizing my thoughts. We have conversations here with real people. I understand the utility in that. When I'm going to learn something, I don't ever follow the chat unless I plan on taking part in the discussion. So, hey, Johnson, good to see you. Woody Johnson, would you consider me a Bible thumper? Just curious. Because you know what's funny? I'm so many different things to so many different people. No, I was coming across as apparently a Christian or something to this rad mom that I was trying to have a conversation with. Okay. To Woody, I'm just his mother. Well, I think that's it. It's really all I have. I was hoping to play what's her name's thing so I could, recorrect her misconceptions, but she hid it. Let me check one more time because maybe she decided not to be a chicken shit. Red mom. Red mom. Live. Nope, it's still hid. That's a shame, rad mom. I thought you were fucking rad. I guess not. Yeah. I've learned to treat these women the same way I treat my 10-year-old niece. Same level of respect, same level of consideration for their opinions and tantrums. I am at peace now. Yeah, Emmanuel. That seems to be the consensus. Well, I was hoping this mom would offer me some fucking useful perspective on why feminism. Why? Because I still don't get it. I don't get the utility in feminism. All I see is a bunch of mentally ill, fucking childish tantrum throwers, a bunch of cowards, a bunch of liars, a bunch of biology science deniers, a bunch of evolutionary psychology deniers. I see a lot of that. I see a lot of sinners. I don't know. I just don't believe any of these crazy bitches can have an adult conversation with a real person. I think they're too afraid. So, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Billy, are you going to stream? Will you kick up a stream? It's 7:23. The only flaw in my new mindset is that women wield a lot more power over my life than my niece. Repeal the 19th and whatever the South African equivalent is. Yeah. Can you believe, Emmanuel, that this feminist had a problem with guys from around the world coming together on this channel and having discussions? Can you believe that? I think she is a misandrist. I think she's part of that pack of hyenas that just want to see men divided. Pretty sure that's true. Oh my God. That's gross. That's super gross. Well, what can we say to Rad Mom? What can we say to her? It would make her feel better. Oh, what else did I hear her say? She didn't want to send her people over to my channel. Well, I think you guys should go over to her channel. She streams Monday through Friday at noon. So here's her channel. You guys can drop her a sub. Ask her why she's such a coward. Because you know what? I don't see any conversations with anybody on here. I mean, I see her critiquing a lot of people, but I don't. I mean, when she said she'd be open for a discussion, I don't see that she has any discussions on here. Yeah, I don't get it. It's just her. Why black? Why fucking that dark of hair, actually? Why? That I don't get. But go over to her channel. And whenever you're ready, Rad Mom, when you quit being a coward, when you decide to have an adult conversation as if you want adults to take you seriously, or anybody to take you seriously. Because you know what? This whole feminist ideology is going down the shitter. They are being exposed for the criminals that they actually are. So I'm sorry if you got indoctrinated into that cult. And I'm sorry if it's making you go crazy. And I'm sorry if it turned you into a fucking pothead. What is that called, Billy? Cognitive dissonance, when you hold two competing ideas, or blah, 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 psychology terminology? No, Richard's been talking about splitting lately. So, whenever you're ready, Rad Mom, if you ever will be, I will be open for a conversation. Or kitty cat. Or, hold on, there was somebody else on her channel. What was her name? Joe somebody. Hold on. Joe. Oops, wrong channel. Hold on, who did I tag? I tagged her because her comments are interesting. Also, her channel is also interesting. Yeah, Joe Spring. She's a feminist mom, I think she said. What the fuck is that word? Agathakalak. What? Is that a real word? But it says looking at the constructs of good and evil. That's literally what I do too. All right, BB Scott. Yeah, how do we connect so we can have a chat? I would love to hear about your work in the field. Email? Discord? But yeah. Yeah, she doesn't have any content though either. Just playlists. I don't think any of these people want to actually have conversations. They want to be keyboard warriors. I think you can type whatever you want because you have a wrench. Brandon Scott at symbol. Yeah, okay. I'll try it. That's funny. All right. I will email you, Mr. Scott. We'll set up a chat. See, and these crazy bitches wonder why there's so many men that come to my channel. Because guess what? They're not fucking cowards. They'll actually have conversations like people, like adults. All right, will do. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like me and Scott have a lot to talk about. Why are guys so much more helpful? Like, why are guys so much easier? I can just throw out a random question there. And usually people, men that I talk to, they're like, oh yeah, so here's an answer. I throw out a question to a crazy bitch and I get a block. Or I get a response like they didn't fucking understand English or understand basic principles. So people wonder why I don't believe women should have the fucking right to vote. Especially with what I've seen the past 15 years and all the women in my life that I've seen become emotionally terrorized by fear-mongering lies. So I hate it when people use sophisticated words that 99% of the world doesn't understand. The point of communication is to be understood. Yes, I agree, Emmanuel. That's why I find it hard to understand why a lot of people can't communicate properly, but at the same time, when I witness the amount of time they spend actually listening to try to understand what the other person's saying, it doesn't surprise me. Especially with women. Like, they're so quick to get fucking emotional and get offended with shit that has zero to do with them, but they want to take it personally because, oh my God, you're saying it about a woman, somebody else that has a vagina like me. How fucking retarded is that? And then crazy feminists want to call that internalized misogyny. I think people that use that language are fucking retarded. I think they're taking shit way too personally. And they want to be taken seriously in life. They want to say some shit on the internet that's going to affect the way society moves. I know a lot of these women have that inherent drive. They feel like they have some shit to say. So they want to contribute. Yet they don't want to contribute where it fucking matters. So yeah, we actually want to solve problems. The fair sex just wants to talk about the problems. I never understood that personally. Maybe it's because I've always been a problem solver myself. But if you can explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Freebird, usually you spout off some just random shit like that, and it doesn't usually hit as hard as I feel like it should, but this one's good. That one's really good. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. I guess I'll give Rad Mom some more time. I think she got scared. Maybe the women in her circle were like, ooh, she might be evil. Don't talk to her. Maybe my crazy bitch baggage got to her. Maybe she'd rather listen to and take the inspiration or retarded fucking feelings of some other crazy bitches on. So, yeah, Hemi, I believe that. I believe that. Why, I don't know. I would love for her to let me know why she likes to talk shit. Why she likes to victim blame. Is it in a feminist nature to constantly beat on the victims of narcissistic abuse? Is it in a feminist nature to continue abusing people that are, just trying to figure out a way to get on with their life when they don't have enough help in society? She seems to have a lot to say about the red pill and the MGTOW community, so I'd like to know what she thinks that is. Maybe compare notes. And I still want to know why in the fuck mothers of sons need feminism the most. Because you know what? I've gone, every woman in my tribe that I've talked to since I heard that come out of her mouth, they're like, what? Are they trying to abuse their children? Why would they need feminism? Why would they need false idols if we're using biblical terminology? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of different groups try to adopt me. So I've been tried to be adopted by many Christians in my life because I share a lot of the same values. But well, I guess I'll continue to be disappointed. I don't know. Maybe she emailed me back. Let's see. Nope. All right. I think I'm going to leave it there. Unless you guys want me to play something. I don't think I want to. Something I did hear. What was it that she said earlier today? Let's see. She didn't want to criticize. Her and her crazy bitch friends felt sorry for me. What was it? There's one more thing I was gonna leave her with. I forgot. Yeah, it's hard to remember now. I wish I would have saw the whole thing though. I was gonna go back to it. Her son is adorable though. And I hope they had fun shopping for the friend's birthday party. Emmanuel, I know. You're right there with the mop bucket, just ready. See, I have questions. I'm literally perpetually 5 years old in my curiosity of the world, especially people that say a lot of things other people say that I think are bullshit. And every time I try to talk to somebody about the dogma that they puppet, they don't really have straight answers for me. So I had one client that I don't no longer see anymore. And actually, I checked her Facebook here recently. She no longer gets her hair done anymore. She let her color grow out. But I mean, I did her hair before her wedding. I did her hair for her wedding. I cut her son's hair. She's married. Like, I thought I knew this woman pretty well. And I saw her every 6 weeks for years. And we spent hours together discussing mom stuff, discussing gardening stuff, discussing anime, because both of our boys are into anime, discussing family stuff, stories of our families, things we've had to deal with. When I woke up to this feminism thing, I asked all the females in my life. Because I was blown away that feminism wasn't a fucking joke. I mean, I heard random things about it online, but I literally would laugh at it because I'm like, what is this dumb purple-haired bitch talking about? Women can do things, everything that men can do. Like, that's dumb. But no, I asked her about it. She's like, oh, yes, feminism. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Please explain it to me. Oh my God, that's literally my life's work, she said. She was a fucking gender studies professor at Texas A&M. I was like, what? We never talked about politics ever. Ever. So, when she started saying all the things, we spent literally 3 hours talking about it. And I kept asking her questions about her dogma. And the last thing that I said, because she was, down the man-hating path with, all the things that they fucking say, I swear she changed. As she was saying all this bullshit, she was different. Like, it wasn't her. It was like a possession. It was weird. But she mentioned something about, what do we need men for? Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, hello, to keep the lights on. They do all the heavy lifting. Like, if it wasn't for men, they literally build the world and keep everything going. Like, what do you mean? What do we need men for? I was like, to have babies. How about just as basic as that? We need men to procreate. And her fucking response was, well, not for long with the way technology's going. I was like, that's fucked up. You have a son and a husband. You really hate men? So that's how you come across. She didn't say anything. That was the last time I saw her. So I like her posts on Facebook that have to do with family stuff. But I don't see any politics stuff on there, strangely. I don't get it. I don't get feminists. I think all feminists have been emotionally terrorized to believe bullshit. I think they have been fearmongered by the lesbian feminist sex cult. And I believe it's a mating strategy for hedonists. I mean, lesbians are fucking hedonistic. It's a pity that they block you in 2 seconds. I love Andrew Wilson's TikTok invasions for this. He actively tries to find competent people on TikTok lives to debate. Most just block him. Yeah. You know what? If she wants to debate, she should go to the Crucible. That would get her a lot of traffic to her channel. Oh my gosh. Okay, Rad Mom, here. Let me help you. I know you're trying to grow your channel. Here, the Crucible. Here, Rad Mom. The Crucible. See this? It's right here. This is the fastest growing debate channel. Here, leave this in the chat. Go ahead and sub to him. He'll debate you if you want to debate. If that's it is in fact what you want. Andrew will debate you. He's smart, dude. He spends 8 hours at a time on the Whatever podcast. He has way more fucking patience than me, let me tell you. Whew. I just have questions. Oh, the artificial sperm they develop actually becomes a fetus but dies within 6 weeks. Really? Man. I mean, scientifically, isn't it way easier to make eggs? Like, that's why I take a lot of what these feminists say as the opposite is true. It's like playing the opposite is true game. Because I'm pretty sure, as far as the research goes, it's way easier and way more efficient to make eggs. I mean, if she wants to debate her ideology, that's fine. Take it to fucking Andrew. I'm not interested. I just have questions. I want to know when Rad Mom got ideologically infected with the feminist mind virus. Oh, by the way, Emmanuel, I was listening to Elon. He's calling feminists the antibodies of the Matrix. Some of these things these guys come up with just cracks me up. Those are crazy bitches. The antibodies of the Matrix. Yeah, when I listen to him, I'm like, I don't really feel bad about saying I mean as many times as I do. She needs to get on Politically Provoked. Well, I wanted to hear her story about why she believed she was a boy trapped in a girl's body or something for 15 years. Because that's a major thing that's going on right now with the trans thing. We have a lot of children getting their lives ruined because of this bullshit ideology. Elon Musk is one of those. One of his sons, he lost to the crazy bitch fucking identity bullshit. So the psychology field lied to him by telling him that his son would commit suicide if his parents didn't allow them to transition. So my question is, what the fuck is the mom doing? I believe that the moms actually encourage that shit. Only because I've seen it firsthand. Oh, by the way, I have my, she's going to be a freshman in high school this next year. I have my formerly known as non-binary girl. And I've been doing her hair since she was 4. Yeah, her mom is salty. Her mom is salty that she no longer identifies as a they, them. Because guess what? She dropped some weight. She grew a couple inches. And she's becoming really pretty. So now she wants to be pretty. And her mom hates it. But it's time to do her hair before she starts high school. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be about 5 inches past her shoulders by now. We cut it into almost a fucking pixie over, is it like 2 years ago, maybe? Yeah, when she was playing the I don't feel like a she, her game. And her mom was like, oh, yay. So stunning, so brave. Here, let me change my language. Oh, that was weird. Her mom was talking weird. And I was like, what? She's like, oh, now that she's non-binary, I have to use the right pronouns. Like, what? What is that? She's like, oh, yeah, I identify as they, them now. I'm like, wait, what? Please, you're one of those? Oh my God, tell me all about that. Yeah, she didn't feel like a she, her. And when I asked her what is a she, her supposed to feel like, she didn't have an answer for me. She took that away and thought about it for a while. When she came back for a bang trim, she was no longer they, them. So her mom was salty about it, though. Because guess what? A lot of these mothers love to fucking transition their children. Look at Jeff Younger. Look what that man's dealing with his pediatrician ex-crazy bitch wife that decided to take one of their twin sons and transition him as a child. And when Jeff tried to stop it, she fucking took him to California from Texas. And that man has been fighting that crazy bitch ever since. But back to the mothers. Probably. Well, it is. Women have so much more privileges. They really do. Oh, Tom. Oh. Yeah, Jeff's son that he lost. Yeah. Well, she's a doctor, so she knows, right? Yeah, a mom can be a doctor or a mom can be a fucking welfare queen bastard factory. It doesn't really matter. If she wants to use her children as utilities instead of being an actual mom, society lets them get away with it. So I was a major tomboy growing up. Today, still am. Still do a bunch of man's work. I have very masculine type hobbies. But I know for a fact, if when I was, 10, 11, 12, and really not wanting to be a girl because my mom was trying to alienate me from my father, it made me not even want to be a girl. But if this trans shit was a thing back then, I probably wouldn't have any tits today, because my mom would have used that. She would have used me to get attention and probably money and all the things a lot of these fucking mothers do. It's the same with the pageant moms. See a lot of those. They use their children in the same way. So, super crazy bitchery. Yeah. Since zombies are undead, they identified as was, were. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm tired of talking to myself. You know how very interdependent I am. I don't do this solo thing very well. I don't know. Is that a sign that I'm not a narcissist? I always wondered that. Not a narcissist, but I don't need somebody up here. I don't know. The whole interdependent thing. It's kind of my lane. Yes. These parents are sick and abusing their kids for attention. Yeah. There's a lot of parents that do that. A lot of mothers that don't get held accountable for it. So, the fathers get held accountable all the time. They get a disproportionate amount of responsibility. A lot of the time, the fathers get blamed for shit the mothers are doing. So, doesn't seem fair. All right, I'm going to go, you guys. Have a good night. Happy Friday. Brad Mom, whenever you're ready. If you really have something to say, you might want to fucking say it. And talk to people. Because guess what? You cannot build your channel by yourself. Everybody knows that. If you would like access to a tribe of individuals that would probably also want to ask you some questions so you can network properly like a fucking human, let me know. Yes, they're sacrificing their children's fertility to please their pagan antenatal god. This is what they fought for, bodily autonomy. Yes, I agree with that, Emmanuel. By the way, Rad Mom, sorry I did not introduce you to my tribe sooner. All these men that you don't understand why they speak on my channel. Manuel's from South Africa. Contrivers from India. Freebirds from America. Billy the Goat is from the UK. Johnny Midnight is from America. Who else? Actually, I don't know where, what's his name, is from. Hemi's from Canada. BB Scott is from Dallas. Fellow Texan. Rusty Rivers, Alabama? Louisiana. Which one? He's from the South. Woody Johnson. I don't know where Woody's from. California would be my guess. Or Florida. JR is from California. He's the Mexican muscle. So, who else is here? Chris Mitchell, Canada. Who else? Did I get everybody that's here right now? I know, but he's not from Arabia. I know me and Woody talking about the joys of how Sharia law will totally sort out this feminism problem. You know, it's really funny. I was actually talking to one of my clients the other day. Like, he's a white man in academia, and he doesn't understand the queers for Palestine people. He doesn't get it. He's like, don't they know that? Yeah. Honestly, I don't think they do. I think these bitches are just so oppositionally defiant that whatever the white men at the university think, you know, whatever horse that they're going to back the other one, whether it's a good idea or not. So these crazy bitches are just reactionary. They don't think. They don't use their brain. They don't have foresight. They don't have big picture thinking skills. They have feelings. That's it. They're literally letting in to all these countries the same exact people that will sort them out if you just let them. So. No Aussies today. Where's TNFS? I haven't checked on that man in a while. I hope he's well. Only problem with Sharia law is that alimony is decided before marriage and that 2 in gold coins. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go now. I have some stuff to do. You guys have a good night. Johnny, looking forward to our stream next Friday, right? Unless Rad Mom decides to have a conversation. That'll probably be the next time I stream. Yes. Oh, Tom. Where are you from, Tom? I've never asked you that. Yeah, they're all possessed. Their minds are riddled with bad ideas. Picture mold on old bread. Yeah, I think so. You're a gypsy. Okay. Oh. Yes. I have a lot to do this weekend. A lot of good stuff. So I'll see you next Friday. Johnny? See you next Friday. And we'll stream on the main channel too. How about that? Right. Okay. And Rad Mom, just to reiterate, you're not on my crazy bitch list yet. So you might want to consider your next moves very carefully. Because I can definitely put you on the misandry list. I can do that. Your channel could be dead in the water. Because that's where crazy bitch channels go to die. Or you can have a conversation like an adult and have the opportunity to fucking grow your channel and actually do something useful on the internet as a woman, as a feminist, and as a mother. Because guess what? The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. So, the words of mothers right now override any crazy bitch language. So if you're going to speak to the world, speak as a mother that cares about the future of your sons. Don't speak as a feminist, because that ideology is fucking dying. So you better abandon ship now while you still have time. All right, contriver. See you next week. Ah, gypsies are Indians, huh? Some of us are, what do they call us now? BIPOC? It was funny. I think it's the blonde hair that throws some people off. They don't understand that Native heritage and that Indians, Native Americans, it's kind of a lifestyle, I guess. A way of operating in this world. Not really a religion, so to speak, but just the way of doing things. Like quantum physics. All right, y'all. Later.